to part 5 of creating a Minecraft tag client for 1.8.9. In this video, we'll be creating a array list and a setting system. And we'll also be redoing our flight module so we can also test the settings. So the first thing we're going to do is delete all these extra flight things we made in the last video. Now, since we're using reflections and all this, those are going to still be stored in the cache and everything. So we're just going to delete everything in target and just delete. There we go. Another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set flight, the enabled equals true, to false by default, because now we have a clicked UI, so we don't need that. And I'm going to go ahead and create the array list first before the setting system. So let's go into render HUD. And this might get a bit complicated, but just stay with me. Float offset equals 0 for object module out of tutorial.instance.get module manager.get modules.values.stream.filter module is toggled .sorted comparator comparing int. I don't want this on a separate line. Actually, yeah, I probably do. Dot sorted comparator dot comparing int module m dot get name dot length dot then comparing module get name dot reversed dot to array, and then another closing one, and there we go. So what this is doing is this is going through every module we have and then sorting them from the most characters to the least amount of characters. What I'll probably do is just leave this line in the description because that's a lot to write out. So now we're going to say module mod equals module if not mod dot get name dot equals ignore case click GUI, because we don't want to render the click GUI in the array list whenever we're using the click GUI. Render util dot draw rect. We actually need to modify render util first to accept doubles, so double, 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 and double, and then we'll go into draw rect from GUI, so GUI.java, change all these to doubles to double I and double J. I'm just going to put in tutorial start and down here tutorial end, so I know where my custom code is. And now let's do the render util.drawRect sr.getScaledWidth minus fr.getStringWidth mod.getName -9 offset 2 6 plus fr.fontheight 0x what would be a good color, ff48 bdfa, sure, maybe. Then render util draw rect sr to get scaled width minus fr to get string width mod dot get name -7 offset fr to get string width mod dot get name +8 6 plus fr dot font height and 0x90000000. And now let's actually draw the module name fr.drawString mod.getName sr to get scaled width minus fr to get string width, mod.getName minus 3, 4 plus offset, -1 for white, and no drop shadow. And then offset plus equals 15. Alright, so now you see sprint and HUD over here in our array list. And if we toggle in flight, you'll also see that. And it always will display the longest module first and then the shortest one last. Because, I mean, that's usually how you'd want to do it. You can always change it to your liking, and if you want to have it to the left, you can do that. If you want to, for some reason, have it shortest to longest, you can do that. You would just remove the reversed in the comparing. So yeah, now let's go ahead and get into settings. So how I'm going to have it is when they right click on a module, I'm going to open up a new GUI screen for them, and from there we'll have mode settings, number settings, as well as Boolean settings. So inside of click GUI screen, we're going to go to right here and mouse clicked right above the super.mouse clicked. If mouse button equals 1, that means right click. Int y offset equals box y plus 4 minus scroll offset. Int module height equals 24 for module out of modules. Int module y1 equals y offset. Int module y2 equals y offset plus module height. If hoverutil dot is hovered, we'll say box x plus 5 module y1 box x plus box width plus or minus 5. Bottom, let's do module y2 mouse x mouse y. We should actually put this in an if statement. There we go. Show settings, which we'll make in just a second. Break, and then y offset plus equals module height. Alright, let's make this show settings now. Let's just go below the scissor method. Private void show settings mc.display GUI screen new settings screen, which we're going to make right now. So new Java class settings screen. We need to extend GUI screen here. There we go. So before we actually make the settings screen, we should probably make the actual settings themselves. So we're going to make a new package and tutorial named setting and a new Java class in there named setting. We're going to say @getter, @setter, public string name. That's all we need for setting. We're going to make an impl package inside of setting for implementations. Boolean setting. Number setting. And mode setting. Let's go ahead and have all of these extend setting. Extend setting. Extend setting. Alright, let's do Boolean setting first. Alright, so @getter, @setter, private Boolean state, public Boolean setting, string name, Boolean state, this dot name equals name, this dot state equals state, private Boolean is enabled, return state, private void toggle, set state not is enabled. Alright, now let's go ahead and make number setting. So here we're just going to say @getter and then @setter, private double val, min val, max val, default val, and increment, public number setting, string name, double default val, double min val, double max val, and double increment. This dot name equals name, This dot val equal val. Oh, this dot val equals default. This dot val equals default val. This dot default val equals default val. This dot min val equals min val. This dot max val equals max val. And this dot increment equals increment. Public public void set val double val. This dot val equals clamp val min val max val. Make that right now. Private double clamp double val double min val double max val. Then return math dot min max val. Then math dot max min val and mal. Alright, so now number setting is done. We just want to make sure we clamp them so we can't go more than the maximum or minimum value. So mode setting now. I'm going to say at getter private final list string modes at setter private string cur mode for current mode and at setter private int mode index public mode setting string name string modes just like that. This dot name equals name. This dot modes equals arrays dot as list modes. This dot mode index equals this dot modes dot index of modes array 0. If current mode equals null, current mode equals modes 0. Public void cycle forwards mode index plus plus. If mode index is greater than the modes dot size minus 1 because it starts at 0, mode index equals 0. Current mode equals modes dot get mode index, and basically the same thing. I'm gonna just copy this over for cycle back. For cycle back, mode index minus minus. If the mode index is less than 0, mode index will equal modes.size minus 1, and current mode equals modes.get mode index. Great. So now mode setting is done. Now one last thing before we do setting screen, I'm going to make it so we can actually add modes to our thing. So I'm going to go into module here and just say private final list setting settings list equals new array list, and then down here right above on enable I'm just going to say protected void add settings list dot add all arrays dot as list and settings. Great, so now we can actually start to make our settings screen, I believe. This one's going to be pretty advanced, just like the Click GUI was last time. So private final font renderer fr equals tutorial.instance.getFR. Private final scaled resolution SR equals new scaled resolution tutorial.instance.getMC. Private final module, why is this? Oh, we'll initialize it in just a second. Private final int. Alright, so now I'll say public settings screen module this dot module equals module, because we want to actually know what module we're displaying the settings screen for. Let's go into Click GUI now and just take in a module for show settings, pass it in here. Let's go up to where we're calling it and just pass in module. Alright, so now I know what module we're displaying, so now let's make the actual box for it. So private final int box width equals 130. private final int box height equals 160, private final int box x equals SR to get scaled width divided by 2 minus box width divided by 2, private final int box y equals SR to get scaled height divided by 2 minus box height divided by 2. And now let's override draw screen, render util.drawRect box x, box y, box width, box height, and let's make it 0x dd 222222. Alright, so let's let's draw the string of the name of the module name. So module.getName SR to get scaled width divided by 2 minus FR.get string width module.getName divided by 2 box y plus 2 box y plus 2 and -1. So now let's actually see if we can draw the module name. Alright, so I'm just going to click on sprint, why not, right click, and there we go, we now see sprint. So we now know our settings, at least our settings screen is working. So now I want to actually add just a little line under this just to separate it. So render util.drawRect box x, box y, plus fr.font height plus 3, box width 1, 0x dd 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 dd. Alright, int y offset equals box y plus 15 for setting out of module.getSettingsList. If setting instance of boolean setting bs equals boolean setting fr drawstring bs.name box x plus 10 y offset and -1. Render util.drawHollowRect. We're just gonna make a little checkbox just like we did in the clicked UI. Box width plus 80 y offset 5, 5, 1, -1. Render util.drawRect box width plus 81 y offset plus 1, 4, 4 bs dot isState question mark 0x ff3 ff34f else 0x 00 ff, and then y offset plus equals 10. So now we can render all the boolean settings, but before we test it, I'm going to go ahead and do this for all the rest of the settings. So if setting instance of mode setting ms equals mode setting fr.drawstring mode ms.name box x plus 10 y offset and -1 fr.drawstring. I just looked up left arrow symbol. I'm going to just copy this down right like that. Box x plus 50 y offset and -1. You can either just put in a little arrow tick like that, but if you want, you can just Google this. It'll probably look cleaner. fr.drawstring ms.getCurrent mode box x plus 53 plus fr.getStringWidth. And let me just copy this again. And then y offset and -1 again. I'm going to copy this and get the right arrow this time and paste that in. So box x plus 59 plus fr.getStringWidth mode setting ms.getCurrent mode, and then y offset and -1. And then I'm actually going to put this on separate lines. Y offset, there we go, plus equals 15. And now for the last one, the number setting. If setting, instance of number setting ns equals number setting. Really, we could probably just copy this. Yeah, I'll do that. So ns. Alright, so I'm gonna make this box x plus 10 plus fr dot get string width ns dot name plus 3, and then I'm just gonna remove this and do string dot format percent dot 1f comma ns dot get val box x plus 10 plus fr to get string width. We'll do here instead ns dot name plus 3 plus fr to get string width. Copy this plus 3, and now this is good. Box x plus 10 plus fr to get string width ns dot name plus 3 plus fr that gets string width. Copy this here plus 3 plus fr to get string width string dot value of string dot format percent dot 1f comma ns dot get val and plus 3. Okay, and I'm just gonna make this plus equals 10. So that's all of the ones for those. Now we're just gonna say render util dot draw rect box x box height plus 30 box width 11 0x ff f33 f3f and fr drawstring back float sr to get scaled width divided by 2 minus float fr to get string width back divided by 2 box height plus 31.5f 0x ff and false. Actually, I'm just gonna put -1 here. Alright, that's all the rendering, and now we're just gonna handle mouse clicks. So mouse clicked, if hover util dot is hovered box x box height plus 30 box x plus box width box height plus 30 plus 11 mouse x mouse y mc dot displayed UI screen new clicked UI screen. I'm just going to make a comment here. This is for the back button, and now I have to handle all of these. So int y offset equals box y plus 15. Sure, let's make it not final, that's fine. For setting out of module to get settings list, if setting instance of boolean setting bs equals boolean setting just like we did above. If hover util is hovered box x plus 80 y offset minus 3 box x plus 88 y offset plus 5. We're also giving a bit of leeway here. Mouse x mouse y bs set state not bs is state y offset plus equals 10. If setting instance of mode setting ms equals mode setting. If hover util is hovered box x plus 45 y offset box x plus 55 y offset plus fr dot font height mouse x and mouse y modes ms dot cycle back. If hover util is hovered box x plus 55 plus fr to get string width mode or ms.get current mode, y offset box x plus 65 plus fr to get string width, ms.get current mode. Oh, what did I do? Y offset plus fr dot font height, mouse x and mouse y, modes ms dot cycle forwards, y offset plus equals 15, and finally the number setting. Then we're finally done. If setting instance of number setting ns equals number setting if hover util is hovered box x plus 10 plus fr to get string width, ns name plus 2 comma y offset box x plus 10 plus fr to get string width, ns.name plus 2, actually plus 4 comma y offset plus fr dot font height mouse x mouse y, ns dot set val ns dot get val minus ns dot get increment. We're basically going to do the same thing but in the opposite way. If hover util dot is hovered box x plus 10 plus fr to get string width, ns dot name plus 3 plus fr to get string width. I'm just going to go up and copy this here. There we go. Plus 3 plus fr to get string width, string dot value of ns dot get val plus 2, y offset box x plus 10 plus fr to get string width, ns dot name plus 3 plus fr dot get string width. There we go. Just paste that in again. Plus 3 plus fr to get string width, string dot value of ns dot get val plus 6 comma y offset plus fr dot font height mouse x, and finally mouse y, ns dot set val ns dot get val plus ns dot get increment, y offset plus equals 10. Alright, so finally that was a lot, but the number setting that was kind of a pain, but now we are done with the settings screen. Now the only thing left to do is to actually add settings to something. So the last thing I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to redo our flight class and also add some settings to it. If you can't tell, my voice is kind of destroyed from how long I've been recording this. But we're going to say private final mode setting, mode equals new mode setting, mode, we'll do creative, creative, jetpack, and glide, private final double set, private final number setting, speed equals new number setting, speed, we'll set the default value to 1, the minimum to 0.1, the max to 10, and the increment of 0.1. We're going to then say public flight, add settings, mode, and speed. Make a few more variables here. Private double old y, private float old j for old jump, old y equals mc.theplayer.motion y, old j equals mc.theplayer.jump movement factor. If mode dot get cur mode equals ignore case creative, then we're just going to basically put everything right in here that we already have into this, And instead of set fly speed here, we're going to remove the 0.25f and cast it to a float and say speed dot get val divided by 20%.1f, because as we know, as we found out actually, the speed is really high at really low values, so we're just going to divide it from what the player or you set up here. Now we're going to say if mode.getCurMode.equals jetpack, if mc.GameSettings.KeybindJump.isPressed, mc.player.jump. That one's pretty simple. And finally, the glide one, if mode.getCurMode.equals glide. Oh, there we go. If mc.theplayer.motionY is less than 0.0d, and mc.theplayer.isAirborne, and not mc.theplayer.isInwater, and not mc.theplayer.isInlava, and not mc.theplayer.isOnLadder, then we can say mc.theplayer.motionY equals minus 0.125d, mc.theplayer.jumpMovementFactor times equals 1.12337f. Alright, and then finally on stable, actually keep that, mc.theplayer.motionY equals old y, mc.theplayer.jumpMovementFactor equals old j. Okay, we're finally done. Now we can run the client and pray that everything works. Alright, so if I press shift and go into movement and fly, we can see my positioning. Actually, my positioning is fine. You can position these things if you want better, but if we hit back, we go back. You could also probably save the category they're in, but I'm not going to. So if we enable it, it's in creative right now. I mean, it works like you would expect. If we do it and set it to, that's bad. Okay. Okay, looks like we do have one more thing to fix. Alright, so I found the issue. We put equals 15 instead of box y plus 15. That's why we can now make this a final int. Now if we run it, we can hopefully see that everything works. Alright, so if we go into flight and set this, you can now see its settings. So jetpack, enable it. I'll probably add keybinds in the next video. But now we are going up like a jetpack if we hold space. We still don't have no fall though. So now let's go to glide. This one's pretty fun. Let me find a good area. And we just kind of glide down. Alright, we still don't have no fall. I'll probably add that in the next one. We'll add more modules.